This week's parasha, Parashat Bemidbar, Sefer Bemidbar. We're starting a brand new Sefer of the Torah, the Sefer of Bemidbar, known in English as Numbers, known by Chazal as the Sefer of Pekudim, the book of counting. Because at the start of the parasha, we're going to find it again later on in the Sefer, HaKadosh Baruch Hu wants the Jewish people to be counted. Okay, so what's the idea behind this count? And I actually had a nice question from our rabbi, Rabbi Nordlicht, where he asks, Chazal made it in a way that Parashat Bemidbar is always read before Shavuot. So maybe there's some kind of connection between Bemidbar, the counting, and Shavuot that's about to happen. Now, really, we have in Chazal this idea that last week's parasha that has the tochacha, that always has to happen before Shavuot. We have a tochacha before Shavuot, and we have a tochacha before, a rebuke before Rosh Hashanah. We have two tochachot, one before Shavuot, one before Rosh Hashanah. But specifically, when it comes to Shavuot, Chazal wanted one parasha in between Bemidbar to separate. So maybe there's a deeper connection between Bemidbar and Shavuot. So I heard some unbelievable, awesome stuff from Rabbi Nordlicht. Okay, says Rabbi Nordlicht as follows. What's this count all about? If you open up the Ramban, Nachmanides comes along and explains that in this particular count, Moshe Rabbeinu is going to now meet with every person that he counts and gets to know them. So it's a way for Moshe Rabbeinu to get to know the person, the family, and person by person is being counted. It's individual time with Moshe Rabbeinu. And he says that's something that's very, very special, because what's Moshe Rabbeinu doing when he's meeting with them? He's giving them, he's giving them kavod, he's giving them importance, he's giving them that face time to ask any questions they want, making them feel like $1,000,000. This is one of the greatnesses of Moshe Rabbeinu, is to be able to sit and talk to each person individually, give them that face time, and they get to meet with their leader, meet with the biggest intermediary between HaKadosh Baruch Hu and the Jewish people. Moshe Rabbeinu gives them all their face time. And he says that while Moshe Rabbeinu is meeting with them, he knows how to talk to them. He knows how to give them their inspiration. He knows how to let them know what's important for them. We mentioned last year in our Dvar Torah from the Abir Yaakov that the name Yisrael itself stands for Yeshishim Mibot Yot La Torah, that there are 600,000 letters in the Torah corresponding to the 600,000 Jews in the world, the root souls of the Jewish people. So we each correspond to our own letter. So he says that there's a certain idea that Moshe Rabbeinu was able to show us what's our mission, what's our job, what's our goal, what's our relationship to the Torah. Moshe Rabbeinu is the Rabbeinu. He's the one that knows how to teach us the Torah, and he's also showing us how to find our place in the Torah. If you open up the Gemara in Sotah, this is Daf Yud Gimel Amud Bet. So when Moshe Rabbeinu dies, this is Bat Kol. This heavenly voice comes out from the heavens and refers to Moshe Rabbeinu as the Safra Rabbah. Moshe Rabbeinu is known as the great scribe, because Moshe Rabbeinu wrote the Torah. He's the one that's writing every one of those letters of the Torah, teaching us that letter, helping us find our letter. Comes along the Maharsha, and the Maharsha actually says, so yes, Safar Rabbah means he's the great scribe. Actually, I saw in the Ben Yehoyada, first off, says the Ben Ishchai, that there's actually a remez here to the angel in the Shamayim that Moshe corresponds to, the angel in Shamayim, the Matat, because Moshe Rabbeinu stands for Metatron Sarah Panim. Moshe, Mem Shin Hey, is Matat Sarah Panim, and we know that he's in the Shamayim. That great scribe in the Shamayim, says the Ben Ishchai, we learn from Chazal that the great scribe angel in the Shamayim, what would he do? He was a sofer shekotev zechuyot Yisrael. He was the sofer that knew how to write down all of the good attributes, all the good deeds of the Jewish people. That's what Matat in the Shamayim is doing. This good angel, Chanoch, who becomes that angel, is now writing down all the good deeds of us. He's like one of our defense attorneys up there in the Shamayim for each of us. Moshe Rabbeinu is that sofer down below doing the exact same thing. But here, while we're alive, while he's alive, he's letting us know what are our good character traits, what are our kochot, where do we find our letter in the Torah. Comes along the Maharsha, and the Maharsha says, yeah, okay, that's one idea of Safar Rabbah. He's a sofer. That's the simple interpretation. He's the scribe. But you can also learn Safra from the language of mispar, of a counter, of a sofer, he's sofer misparim. Moshe Rabbeinu knows how to count, because we have in our sefer that Moshe Rabbeinu is going to count and count and count. And I actually saw some of the other Mefarshim say that this bat kol comes out after Moshe Rabbeinu dies and calls him the Safar Rabbah, because this is the greatest praise, that he's the one that wrote the Torah, or he's the one that knows how to count the Jewish people and understand the Jewish people, whichever angle you're going at. That's the greatest praise. That's the praise that the bat kol min hashamayim is giving up Moshe Rabbeinu. Moshe Rabbeinu knows how to count the Jewish people. He knows how when we stand in front of him to let us know exactly what we're all about and how to reach the goals that Hashem says should put us in this world to try to reach. One last idea that I heard from Rabbi Nordlicht, he also brings down from the Ramami Pano, he says it brought down the Khatam Sofer as well, that each person was counted like Gulgolet, which means that literally means that every single person's head was as a head count, that every head was counted. But Gulgolet also sounds like Gilgul. Moshe Rabbeinu was also able to tell them the future. He was also to tell them what are the future Gilgulim, the future reincarnations, what's all that's going to happen with your soul in all future generations. Moshe Rabbeinu had that koach when he was counting us to let us know what it's really all about. And maybe that's the idea we're supposed to get before we get get to Shavuot, that right now this idea of the counting, what are we all about? What's our place? What's our role? What's our role in this world, in the world to come? What's our goal when it comes to the Torah itself? How do we find our letter in the Torah? And how important are we that we each deserve our individual attention time with the great leader Moshe Rabbeinu? That kind of koch should come to us before Shavuot to realize, wow, recognize how important we actually are and how big our goal should be for this Shavuot night. Shabbat Shalom.